third episode of Red Talk. With me is Alex and Will. The other Alex and Nick cannot be with us today, unfortunately, but I'm sure we'll do our best to get by. On today's program, it's going to be a season preview edition of Red Talk with the season about a week away as we're recording this, and so basically we're just going to go over the whole of the Premier League season preview, as well as talking about United specifically, of course, our expectations of what we're going to do this year, the defence, who's going to line up alongside Vidic with Rio out, and who's going to be the first choice right back this season. Tom Cleverley, he's staying, of course, not going out on loan, so what role does he have to play? Javier Hernandez, been very impressive in pre-season, of course, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat about him and where he lies in the pecking order of United strikers. Okay, so we start with the season preview, so what do you boys think is the expectations for United this year?
Well, I think especially the disappointment of last season. We came second, but still disappointing not to win the trophy. I think there's a bit of hunger amongst the boys, and I think they'll be pretty keen to win back the trophy. Yep, Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll bounce back. We'll be a bit stronger this year. We've brought in a few younger faces, so hopefully they'll lift the team and we'll go a long way and hopefully win the title.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And what about the competition though? Do you think they've sufficiently strengthened? What about Chelsea? They haven't really strengthened their team too much this season, have they? They've lost Joe Cole and Ballack and replaced them with Benayoun and Ramirez.
And Deco's gone as well.
Deco's gone, yeah. But Ramirez from Brazil's World Cup squad should be in by the time this goes up. So what about them? Do you think they're a stronger team this year or weaker or around the same level?
Well, I think Chelsea, with those two signings, Benayoun not so much, but Ramirez is obviously a bit younger, and I think they're sort of trying to build for those future players in the midfield. Like Lampard, obviously, he's not going to be around forever, so they're looking to find the next Lampard, the next piece in their jigsaw.
Yeah, bit of continuity. That's what. Bit of that, trying to new face in the team like United are doing. I'm sure they've got a few young guys coming through the ranks at Stamford Bridge as well. So they're always going to be a threat, especially Ancelotti's great manager. So.
Yeah, he has said that he's going to give the youngsters a bit more of a chance this year, Ancelotti, and he's got players like Jeffrey Bruma in defence and Michael Mancian, who's going to be back at Chelsea this season after having a decent season away on loan at Wolves. So I think they're around the same level as last season Chelsea, and I think United were around the same level as well, so I think it's going to be another tight battle. But what about the other contenders, your Arsenal's, Liverpool's, Spurs, City, etc.? Do you think any of them have really stepped up to the mark and are going to challenge for the title this season?
Well, for me, I think City will be a lot stronger this year with the signings they've made. Silva, obviously, I think he'll adapt quite well to the Premier League, and he'll really show everyone what he can do. Obviously, he was a great player in Spain, but there's the question: can he perform at a fast-paced league in England? And I think he can. And that just remains to be seen. But I think if Manchester City are going to be successful, he's going to have a huge role to play in what they do.
Also, I think Liverpool, despite them maybe not having strengthened a great deal, whether they signed Joe Cole, and but the new manager, I think Hodgson's shown in the past that he's a great manager, so they'll be back up there. You can't expect them to come 7th again. So, they'll be a threat as always, and all they need is Torres and Gerrard to stay fit, and they might be a chance, but hopefully not.
Yeah, I think that was their best signing by far, Liverpool, bringing in Hodgson. A great manager, of course, did a fantastic job at Fulham, and I think they're going to be definitely back in the Champions League next season. As far as City, I think Yaya Toure is a fantastic signing, and the two fullbacks they brought in, Boateng and Kolarov, are really going to add to their side, and Silva, of course. But it's the thing again, whether they can gel this season. City, they always bring in a lot of players every window. We talked about it a bit last episode, but that's the real question for them. So what do you think is going to be the top 4 this season?
Well, hopefully United at top place winners. I reckon Chelsea second again. I think now that Fabregas has said he's staying, that Arsenal will be third, but I think they might narrow the gap a little bit. Fourth place, I don't really like to say it, but I think it might have to be City. It's probably out of them or Liverpool, and look, Sophie's choice really. I mean, I don't want either of them in there, but it's going to be one of them, I think.
Yeah, for me, I'd go obviously United winners, Chelsea second. I think City will finish third, and I think Liverpool will finish ahead of Arsenal.
I'm going to go for United as well, and Chelsea for second. I think Arsenal will finish in third place despite their bit of a weakness in defence still, which hasn't really been addressed, and I'm going to say Liverpool are going to finish fourth. And what about at the other end of the table? Not really relevant to United, but what about the relegation battle? Who do you think is going to go down this season, Will?
Yeah, well, I think I've already mentioned to you after watching a few pre-season friendlies with you that I think Blackburn Rovers will go down this year. I don't think they've got a great side, as we've spoken about before, but I think they'll go down. I also think Blackpool will go straight back down, and I will think that probably maybe, I'm not sure who's going to join them. But
Not going to make a decision on the third one.
no, the third one's I'm a bit undecided on the third one.
Bales?
I agree with Will in Blackpool. Not so sure I agree about Blackburn. I think they might just stay up. Probably, maybe a Stoke City, maybe. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much of West Brom. I'm pretty confident that Newcastle will stay up, but it could be West Brom or.
Yeah, that was the other team I was thinking of, West Brom. I think they'll probably go down with Blackpool and Blackburn.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the predictable Blackpool as well. They haven't bought. They've bought, I think, one player to date as we speak, and that's nowhere near enough strengthening for a side that finished sixth in the Championship last season and wasn't expected to finish anywhere near there. So I think they really are going to go straight back down, but it's a great story anyway, them being in the Premier League. The other two teams, I think Wolves will probably go down this year. They haven't done a great deal of strengthening during the off-season. Mick McCarthy's a good manager, but I think they just won't be strong enough. And the other one, I'm probably going to say West Brom. They're a bit of a yo-yo side, and I think they may yo-yo again.
What about Overachievers? Who do you think is going to be the team that's the surprise packet this season?
Well,
my guess, I'll put mine out there first up. I think West Ham, the Avram Grant, I think he's quite underrated as a manager. Took Chelsea to second place in the league, and a kick away from the winning the Champions League trophy, or a slip away as most would remember. So I think and what he did with Portsmouth last season, making the final of the FA Cup. So I think they could be surprise packets.
Yeah, good call there, I think. I think we're going to be able to better that. But I'm not sure really. I think Newcastle could finish decently this season. I think they really dominated the Championship last season, and they haven't really brought in a lot more players, but I think they've got a good squad, and I think they could end up finishing around about mid-table. Will?
Yeah, my overachievers I think will be Fulham. I think they'll probably break into Europe again. I think they'll be quite high up the table. They'll be pushing for 5th and 6th with Aston Villa and Tottenham. I think with Hughes there, you've already seen looks like he's persuaded Mark Schwarzer to stay. So I think he'll have a big impact here.
Yeah.
I had to laugh during the week when I saw Mohamed Al Fayed's comment about how Mark Hughes is a much better looking manager than Roy Hodgson. What the relevance of that, I don't know, but
It's a bit better on the posters.
yeah.